earlier and thinking the tide was going out, but it's definitely been coming in all this time. So let's check out to see what the currents and tides have washed up. Definitely saw the snail eggs earlier. Lots of these little common clamshells are exposed now. Got some seed pods from the mangroves here. Unfortunately, they're too far in the season to be of any use. We'll never know what we're going to find on these little walks. These little tide pools that pop up. Got some shorebirds. We are definitely not what I was expecting on the island. Or maybe it's just this time of year. We'll not have a sunset over the water, but we'll still have a sunset. See the colors of the sky change with the setting sun. See who we get joining us this afternoon. As we enjoy our little walk on the beach. Got ourselves a great day. Oh, I sure doing great. How about yourself? The microphone's working good today. Been a great day here on Sanibel Island. A bit breezy, but oh, that's great. You're doing well. A bit breezy, messing up the water for relaxing, but great clear skies. Hey there, gamer. Appreciate joining in. Was a little off my judgment of the tide earlier. We're definitely at our high tide mark now. Let's see if anything has washed up. I do remember the name. I don't remember where I met you at. Done some stuff down in the Keys or in Brazil. Now we're here in Sanibel Island and west coast of Florida. So one thing I'm not a big fan of this vertical live is it doesn't really keep the comments past present recording. So I don't get a chance to go back and make notes of who was with us. Definitely a great time of day. The families all come down to the beach line, decompress from the day of hard beach life they've had. Some of the big shell deposits we get here. World famous beach for shelling. See if we can see a little bit of a water line here. Got some surf fishing. Nothing in the water yet. So you come out here, you can catch your bait in the sand. If the sand fleas. If you're lucky, you find some clams. You get a cast net. On a calmer day, you can see the schools of bait fish swimming by. Interesting how there's no complete shells today. Everything's very broken. But you never know what we're going to see. Very friendly place to be here. So today's trend on the beach has been driftwood and snail eggs. Talking earlier at a restaurant bar, the red tide was real bad this year. So that may have affected some of the wildlife or the shelling going on. We got some of the little, they're sandpipers maybe, little shorebirds playing up here in a minute. Every time the waves go out, the birds are there trying to pick up the little bits for dinner. So in the last live, we found the sea turtle with all the shells for decoration. This one here, they found the razor clams, making the layers of the shell. Used one for a tail. Some black scallops for the eyes. Apparently the sea turtle's got some hair out of seaweed. Unique little vision for a sea turtle. And this one over here, they did a starfish out of some driftwood and shells. Here's the shorebirds here. They look like they're eating very well lately. Joey was here. It's one thing we're looking forward to coming back when they rebuild the shopping mall here. Was at Joey's Custards, great ice cream shop. They had one of their Sundays. They put on a frisbee. Very large Sunday. It was delicious. I think this wind is also making these tides a little higher than normal. Someone's sandcastle getting a moat. talking about if the tide was coming in or out, and I thought it was about done 2 hours ago. So if you get the winds going on shore, you can definitely get a higher tide than normal. Still in their peak season on the island here for another month. Right around Easter is when everything starts dying down. Everybody from the northern states start heading back up home. You make it over here and you want to have a chair after 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock latest. You got to bring your own chairs. The hotels take their stuff back in at the end of the business day. Another sea turtle sandcastle. Just don't want to disturb the people over there. That's definitely a theme on the beach today for sandcastle or sand art is a sea turtle. Looks like that condo setup over there is still being refurbished, as well as these. They're making a good comeback, but they got a lot of work ahead of them still. Probably over the course of next year, they'll start completing everything. Romero, hola. Welcome to the video here. We're live on Sanibel Island doing a little beach walk, looking for some shell souvenirs and enjoying the fresh air off the ocean. Curious if anybody's ever been out here, heard of Sanibel Island before Captiva. They were on the news for a while with the hurricanes that were coming across their path a couple years ago. We are on about Middle Island. Anybody not familiar with the area? There was a Dairy Queen on the main road in, and we're maybe a half a mile north of that. So it's more or less south middle of the island. We're at the Sanibel Island Resort. They had lost their first floor and everything's been fully refurbished. The puppies checking out the egg casings. Unfortunately, after the storm, the Dairy Queen is no longer here, and the owner sold the property. So there is a one last little place left, but we're hoping that the other place called Joey's Custard will be back in the next year or two. They've not quite made it down to the shopping center to see if they've rebuilt yet. Just random containers on the beach. Washed up from a boat or wind blew it up here. Very odd placement. Miles and miles of white sand beaches. Every few months, this beach heavily changes depending on weather conditions. Stingray, maybe? Yeah, maybe manta ray. Going with a ray for the design. That one I'm not sure. Maybe a starfish, but it's not really making it for me. And quite a bit of sand art on the beach today. See, as this tide goes out, what new stuff it uncovers. Even though it's stirring up the water, making it a little murky, it's also cleaning the water, making all this foam. It's discharging all the extra proteins in the water. So stuff they'll put on aquariums to make this foam in the filter systems to recreate nature. Off in the distance, you can see Fort Myers. It wraps all the way around to Marco. And definitely can't see it through the camera, but directly out to sea would be Key West. You're sitting here on a clear, dark night. You can see the glow of the Florida Keys. So under all this surface layer of sand are lots of shells in waiting. Just layers and layers of different shells here. I was hoping we were going to be able to get the sunset over the water, but we'll still get a good view. The island kind of wraps around like a boomerang, and on the northern half of the island, you get more of a sunset over the water. Definitely on the Captiva side. See the dark lines in the sand? That's all the old mineral deposits. Old mineral deposits pulling themselves up through the layers of sand. Like a sea whip, which is in the sea fan family. I think I found a few of them when we were doing that walk around down the Keys. We found the sea fans and some of these as well. Endless supply of these little half clamshells today. Earlier in the day, I did a walk the other direction, and it was just endless of the egg cases from the snails. So it's definitely their breeding season. Appreciate the likes y'all are giving. Greatly appreciate everybody been following along. Definitely open suggestions on places to go, different topics to do. Doing a little boat build. It's small enough, maybe we'll be able to bring it here on a calm summer afternoon. Explore some of the stuff just on the edge of the island here. Oh, it's really windy. I'm hoping the microphone's not doing too bad with the wind. Trying something a little different this time. So another version of those egg cases. Each one of these will have dozens, maybe a dozen individual snails growing inside. And if you see the little hole there, is where they have eaten their way out. They then go explore the ocean to get bigger. We're going to do our best. We got to finish up the boat and then work on a little trailer for it, and then see what kind of explorations we can do on the weekends with it. I want to say it's summertime. Definitely late spring is when we start getting the sea turtle action. Got a little mermaid. Mermaids, stingrays, starfish, and definitely turtles today in the sand art. The egg pods, I'm pretty sure they're not edible. They're very, let's see, very plasticky. When they're wet, they have a very plastic feeling. This is another one. When they're dried out, they're almost like a very hard styrofoam. Their intent is to protect that snail while it develops into a very small snail. It will grow layer by layer. We used to have competitions younger of who could find the smallest snail. And when they found those seed pods, the egg pods, they always had the smallest shell in them, and they were perfect. Another example where they've used another shell to anchor their egg cases on. Yeah, these are all empty. All these great little condos on the water. You get further towards the other end of the island, it turns into more housing. There was about 12 feet of water across this island during the storms. Definitely see Fort Myers pretty clear today. The neat thing here is you can see how there's a low point, middle of the beach, and a high point here. You'll see the waves breaking out just a little bit offshore. It's just a series of these sandbars going out. If you're trying to do some fishing, try to get between them because the fish are riding the currents, looking for their next meal. Definitely every season is different out here for shelling. I'm not sure I normally come out here for an April visit. Definitely depending on the time of year and the weather, you will get different series of shells on the land. So this end of the beach has been the clams, a little bit of seaweed, and the other direction was driftwood and the egg cases. Give another couple minutes here. We're going to turn around and walk into the sunset. Wonderful sky for tonight. The water's not the bathtub water I like, but it's not too cold. Got another piece of sand art over here. See what their vision was. Very large starfish. That took some effort to collect all this stuff, I'll tell you that. That's been there at least a day or two. There's tracks from the beach patrol that look for the sea turtle nests. This last little point up here will make our U-turn. Everybody's always out to find that perfect shell for souvenir or a project. It's one of the most popular places for shelling, definitely in Florida. Another starfish here. They don't get that big, but we do have starfish look like that here. They live just an inch below the sand, and they get seasonal. Get up to that walking path distance and then make our U-turn. A lot of people that make actual research out here have notations of when to come, depth of water, and they know where to find all the great shells. Some of them get on tour boats and go out to remote islands, remote coastlines, find all the secret spots. Get a piece of driftwood, make our turnaround. Tons of these egg cases here today. Someone referred to it earlier as a tapeworm. And it's a good 3 feet long or so. I'm walking into the wind now, so if the noise is too much, let me know and we'll regroup on another time. Definitely great to get out here, fresh air, release the city life from ourselves. Also talking earlier about the bioluminescence we'll get here different times of year. And the waves will just glow neon greenish blue. When they're really thick of the bioluminescence bacteria, really impressive. It's also interesting when there's just a handful of them because you just find one that glows every time a wave crashes. Doing their little photo shoot for the night. is doing his thing. I think it shows up on the phone. See if we get back to him before he's done. There's a whole palm tree washed up on the beach on the other end as well. Definitely, everything changes with the wind and water currents. It's nice when the hotels here have their pools on site for the days that are a little rough like this. The water's not extra warm. We get spoiled living down here in South Florida. You guys here getting their exercise in with their dog. The sun's going to set over the island tonight. Many times you get some crazy colors down here. Little crazy birds. I don't know if you can catch him or not. He's got his wing. He's got attached to a rope. He's on a surfboard. If anybody's out there who's experienced a West Coast Florida sunset. Another great place we'll do another time. I think we're going down to Key West for Memorial Weekend. Supposed to be having a minimalist regatta. We'll catch up with the sunset then too. Given the task of making a boat out of a sheet of plywood. And they got to race around the harbor. You just see them in the distance. But we're getting closer. A little more sun in the view. Do appreciate everybody joining in and sticking around. Helps encourage me to do more of these. And always open to suggestions on places to go check out. They finally got smart. They figured they'd play here, not be affected by the waves. We'll let them be. think I've been out here since 11 o'clock now. And I swear the tide's been coming in the whole time. Always keep an eye open for a unique thing to wash up. Would love to find another of the shark eggs washed up. Be an interesting mission to try to hatch that one at the house. Definitely some things to keep in mind if you're coming here. If you need a chair after business hours about 6 o'clock, make sure to bring your own. Umbrellas aren't really needed after 6 o'clock, so that goes either way. This couple here's got some great seats. And a great day watching a great sunset. Here I got one of the seashell weapons of choice, little bait net. They do help to grab that shell as it's washing away in the water. I know they're not alive, but they tend to find a way of getting away every time. And it's always the good ones. Getting close to that sundown time. It's the guy with his kite. Enjoy these last few moments of the sun for the day. Another Sanibel Island sunset. Sun setting over the condos. We'll see what it does to the skyline now. Oh, it doesn't seem like it, but I am getting closer to them. So you see the body now on the water. You got a little bit of skill to actually get to where they can fly out of the water for a short period of time. Our little bird buddies. Those little feet move pretty quick. Their evening stroll. As the sun goes down, the city lights start turning on. Then you start seeing all of Fort Myers, Naples, Marco. All that starts lighting up the sky. All day long, chasing the waves. You're making it out here as well. Got a great breakfast spot called Lighthouse Cafe. They got their name by being originally very near the lighthouse on the, this will be the southeast tip of the island. When the storm washed away that whole complex, they moved to the middle of the island. Great breakfast. So they're building a wall out of driftwood there. More of these egg cases. Snails that lay these, they're probably the size of a football. So they're pretty big snails. It's always hard to find where it came from. Try to find your one landmark from your hotel you're staying in. try to do a walkthrough of the hotel grounds tomorrow, depending on weather, but I think it's supposed to have some good weather again tomorrow. I thought this one here was my place with palm trees, but it's not. And the guy with the kiteboard, he's back on land. The phone's actually enhancing some of the color in the sky tonight. Have a good time on the waves for the evening. Got these little tide pools that develop, and sometimes you get fish in them. Definitely see the shorebirds during the day. They'll play in these, getting their food. Yep, definitely not my place. Similar palm trees, but not my location. Joey was here. Till next time, Joey. It's our starfish and our turtle art. My first sea turtle with hair. Never seen one of those before. But nice job they did. Those of you into boating stuff, I think I found a spot I'm going to hit up on the Miami River. Maybe on a Friday afternoon. It's always an issue finding parking, but I think I finally found a parking spot there. More shell hunters with their shell nets. The nets don't last very long. I guess they're okay when it's spontaneous. You need one, but the fabric just does not last against these shells and sand. Get rid of that. The metal rakes for catching sand fleas and stuff is also a great tool. About this hour, I was fishing off the beach down here one time, catching that snook. Lots of good times on this beach. One time we saved it was a blue crab. Get tangled up in some fishing line. I think it was diving for him, diving the beach looking for shells, going back onto the land and untangle all the fishing line from him. Getting their evening walks in. It's also like fall time. You get a lot of stingrays come through here. So you gotta watch where you step in the water. Instead of just stepping anywhere you want. Sunset over the Sanibel Island. Coastal cleanup soon. We're a couple 100 pounds into our challenge. As we get to that. Project on clean some of the canal waterways, mangrove coastlines. Bulldozer. Those palm trees look a little familiar. There's no signs up there. On the microphone. appreciate everybody that's stuck around. Appreciate all the support. And we'll definitely do this again. Until then, we'll see y'all. Thank you.